So, hello everyone. My name is Roberta McDonald, and I'm a 2016 Nuffield Scholar. I'm joined by my colleague, Dr. John Gilliland, today. We both work for an organisation called Devenish. So I'll tell you a little bit about the company, and then we'll have a bit of discussion around some of the work that we've been involved with in some of our research farms. So I suppose Devenish originally is a Belfast based company. The company started in 1997 as an animal nutrition business. And since then, the business has grown, and it's really been under this, I suppose, a strategy of soil to society. And that's been particularly important to us in terms of our focus on research and development. And it's all, I suppose, accumulated in our sustainability work in the lands at Douth, which is a farm that was purchased a number of years ago in the UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Boyne Valley. And what that's really helped us do, I suppose, is embrace our focus on the most efficient utilisation of key nutrients for the production of meat, milk and eggs. And in Devenish, we're working on, I suppose, how we can engage with our customers and our farmers to be able to support that efficient utilisation of key nutrients, which is important for their profitability, but is also important for reducing that waste to the environment and having a negative impact on the environment. So we're going to talk to you today, I suppose, about accounting for that whole farm ecosystem and how we aim to support the provision of nourishing food, a thriving environment, and a future that enables carbon farming. And I suppose, John, that's where I'll start with you, is maybe if you could tell us the story of when the lands at Douth was first purchased, when you first walked through the gates, to the journey the farm has been on up to now, and why you've been involved in it, why it's important to you.
Well, thank you very much, Roberta, and thank you for the opportunity to share our journey with this year's cohort of Nuffield Scholars. I'm really sorry that we can't do it actually physically in the same place, and we're having to do it virtually. So in 2013, when Devenish decided to look at a total farming food system approach, and they bought the lands of Douth, our chairman, Dr. Owen Brennan, reached out and asked me, would I be interested in joining the company and creating a vision for the lands of Douth. My first walk through the gate in 2013 was, wow, a stunning landscape, a heritage landscape, but also a tired landscape. The previous owner for 40 years had taken one crop of hay over the year. There were no fences on it, trees were lying on their sides. The grass had absolutely been neglected. But wow, did we all see the potential. And so I was given the privilege to really create a vision for the lands of Douth and make sure it delivered a positive outcome for the industry and for Devenish. And our vision was around how do we lead climate smart ruminant production. As we know, ruminant agriculture, to a large percentage of people out there, if you listen to the global media, we're made to feel like a pariah. And I felt that was very unfair because ruminants do something that humans can't do. They take poor quality roughage called grass and they turn it into highly nutritious meat and milk. And so we sat about not only looking at how to get better performance from our animals, but better performance from the landscape around the animals. Because as farmers, we just don't farm animals. We farm all our assets, to which soil, hedges, trees, water are all part of. Mm-hmm. And so at its core in Douth is we decided at the early stage in 2014 to create robust digital baselines of our natural capital, of our trees, our hedges, and then of our soils subsequently. So we could baseline our carbon stock. And every 5 years we go back. We're now starting to remeasure that and to see how has our management practices changed the actual amount of carbon stock. Because we believe very passionately the right type of ruminant agriculture can actually deliver net zero.
And out of that work, John, what has indicated to you that carbon farming is a realistic possibility? We hear a lot of talk in the media about it. You know, what's the basis for it? How have you seen proof that it's possible?
Well, I mean, I've seen three key things, two in Doubt and one actually international. The two in Doubt is our trial work at Doubt looking at multi-species swards over just a monoculture grass. We have been able to reduce our nitrogen application by nearly 70%. We've still seen a 15% increase in dry matter yield from those multi-species swards, and probably very nearly a 15% increase in live weight gain in our animals, just by parking the monoculture and going with diversity. We've seen in the same time a fourfold increase in our earthworm population. And so we know if we use earthworms as an indicator for soil biology, something is going right. On top of that, then, we've been seeing quite clearly increases in soil carbon in our soils, in our trees, and that allows us to be able to use that as an on-farm offset. And then if you look at the international toolbox of innovation that is developing at the moment, I've had the privilege of traveling the world. I've had the privilege of going to Australia. And, you know, in Australia, they have some extraordinary nature-based solutions coming forward. Two I'm going to single out. One is a tree called Lucama, which is a nitrogen-fixing tree. When used in silvopasture agroforestry, can displace nitrogen completely. And when coppice and the new growth comes the next year, the animals eat the leaf. The leaf itself can reduce methane by 30% within the animal. So a real nature-based solution. And the other one is the work that's going on in red seaweed, Asparagopsis. When fed at 0.25, 0.5% in a diet, certainly Ciro and UC Davis are showing up to a 90% reduction in methane emissions. So we think through land scale options, animal options, and some of the innovation toolbox from the pipeline of innovation coming forward, over the next 15 years, we will make a big inroads on our journey getting to net zero.
Some interesting thoughts and plenty of food for thought there, John. So look, for now, we'll finish there, and we look forward to responding to questions from the group and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roberta.